Hi everybody, welcome back to LakeErieMonsters.com. Doug Plagens here with you with a very special guest making his first appearance here with us, Dean Chynoweth, the new head coach of the Lake Erie Monsters. Coach, welcome. Good to have you here.
Much. Thank you. We're excited to get here and get started.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you first. Cliche question, but you know, what's your excitement level being the new head coach of the Lake Erie Monsters right here in Cleveland?
Well, it's very exciting. I think for a number of reasons. Obviously, the opportunity to be a head coach, number one, and to come to an organization like Colorado and Cleveland and to see what they've done since the time frame that I played in the league and coached in the league, and have seen the transformation obviously from the Lumberjacks to the Lake Erie Monsters. It's real exciting.
Now, going off a couple of things you just said, getting back to being a head coach, your last job was as an NHL assistant, a lot of experience before that as a head coach. Getting back as the bench boss now, you know, what's that like? What are you looking forward to most?
Well, I'm looking forward to being in control of most of the decisions. I mean, obviously with our staff, we're going to go through things and lay out the responsibilities of each guy and the duties. But for the most part, when I was in Long Island, I ran the defense. Being a former defenseman, that was something that they were looking for in an assistant coach. And you're kind of isolated just to that position. So when you are a head coach, it's something that you're overlooking the entire bench, having that, trying to build those coach-player relationships and obviously develop these young guys where they get an opportunity to try to make the NHL.
Now, you talk about the development and talk about some of the challenges, and the one I want to ask you about the most, you know, you've worked with the National Hockey League players, you've worked with guys at the junior level in the Western Hockey League who are trying to realize that ultimate NHL dream. Now you're going to have some guys who've been there, some guys who haven't. You know, what's the challenge when you have that mixture in the locker room?
Well, I think first and foremost is for the team to have some cohesiveness. When you have a American League team or a minor pro team, the turnover of players can be such that you don't have a constant in your roster in the sense of guys having that familiarity. So that, number one, we want to try to get it addressed right away. And then from the standpoint of the development, you nailed it on the head. Junior, they're trying to aspire to get a pro contract, to get their opportunity. Now these guys see that opportunity, and now the next step is how far can we get them and how quickly can we develop them where they have a chance to see their dreams come true and play in the NHL.
Now, anybody who hasn't seen you on the bench, you know, how would you describe yourself as a coach on the bench?
Well, there's a lot of different versions of what people would say. I mean, I have a few guys, obviously, that I look up to in the coaching ranks, and Dave Tippett, you know, Ken Hitchcock's another guy, along with the guys that I played for. Al Arbor was one of my favorites. So, you know, you try to be yourself. You have your own demeanor behind the bench. I'm not a guy that gets easily rattled. Obviously, I feel that the number one job is, you know, getting the most out of those players, whether it's matchups, whether it's trying to motivate somebody. And I think the big challenge at any level is getting those guys to buy in for the full 60 minutes and to be able to play an exciting brand of hockey. You know, the game's changed since I played. I'm not a dinosaur by any means and stuck in the old days. I have a certain way that I think the game needs to be played, and I want the players to embrace that.
Now, moving off the ice a little bit, talk about the transition. How's it going this summer with, you know, with the transitioning from roles?
Well, it happens fairly quick. It's funny. I was let go in the middle of April, so you have a lot of downtime, but it was actually really good. A lot of family time. I have an 8-year-old daughter, so that during the hockey season, sometimes the families get cheated with the way the schedule is. So when the off season came around, it was a great time to spend time with my daughter, and then the draft came up fairly quickly, and that was when I started to have the interviews with a bunch of different teams, which was a good process to go through, but a new process for me, having come from junior. And anyways, through some of my relationships and experiences, I was given the opportunity to interview with Colorado, and here I am. So the transition is just starting from the standpoint of the move, and being able to get here, get set up, and be a part of the community.
Now, even more off the ice, you mentioned the family, but Dean Chynoweth, away from hockey, you know, what are your other activities? What else do you like to do?
Like to golf. Good social outing, never hurts to, you know, get to know somebody for 4 hours on the golf course. I enjoy that. Past that, you know, I'm a bit of a homebody. I'd like to, you know, work around the house and obviously spend time with family. And the great thing about hockey, I've always said, is you have a family within the family. You spend a lot of time with you know, the players, the staff, whether it's on the road or around the rink, and so that's always enjoyable to get to know the new part of the family.
Dean Chynoweth, the new head coach of the Lake Erie Monsters. Pleased to have you. Welcome again, and thanks for taking some time for us.
Thank you very much.
Folks, keep checking back to LakeErieMonsters.com. Again, the new head coach of the Lake Erie Monsters, Dean Chynoweth. Keep checking back, everybody. We'll see you soon.